wants us to teach something. And so what I thought we'd do is, me and him talked about honeybees quite a bit. So I thought, what better thing to do here than to kind of mess with some honeybees after work. Starting to work out this honey super I had to put on here. They check a few frames of this. They are pretty rowdy by the time I get home from work. The afternoon sun's been on these girls all day. Just put this super on, and you can see the foundation over here, and then you see here where they're starting to draw out the wax. Here's a better example on this next frame. So I'm into honeybees. See there, they're drawing out the comb. So this has only been on here for a couple of weeks or so. So they clean everything real well before they start to draw their comb out on it and stuff. We're going to go through these, and I'll show you guys a couple different things, how they work. Give somebody, well, let's do this first. Share this. And then something I want to learn is patience. I have never been blessed with having much patience. One of the reasons I got into honeybees and the lock picking and stuff, I've always been pretty high strung, and always been pretty high strung, and continuing thing for me is trying to teach myself to be more patient and have more patience. So the honeybees are a great thing for me, as well as lock picking. So that is 100% something that I want to learn more with lock sport and more with life in general, is to be more patient. Make sure these are still in frame since I dropped it down. Oh yeah. So I'd have to say we're going to learn a little bit about honeybees. Something I want to learn on a personal level, lock sport level, is more patience. It's never been my style. Having kids has been amazing for teaching me to calm down and be more patient, as well as lock sport and honeybees. You need to think about your movements. You need to think about your movements, your motions. Kind of plan what you're doing. Now, this is what they're doing. They are putting, this is honey, and that's fresh capped honey. So as you can see, all the white sealed up is, of course, capped, ready to go honey. So, lean this over here. Yes, patience. Learning patience in lock sport, learning patience in life, and everything has been working fairly well. I try to stay calm, and when these are capped honey like that, there's a little bit of capped brood on that one. These things probably weigh 15 pounds when they're like that. Now, shout out to a teacher, to somebody that has taught me things. There's so many people. As a man, if you can pay attention, you can learn from anyone. There's not a single person on this planet that can't teach you something. With that being said, some offer more than others. My grandfather was one of my biggest teachers. He taught me to work hard. More capped honey. Bunch of brood. So my grandfather was a great man. Taught me to be kind. Taught me to work hard. Having kids, my kids have been fantastic teachers. In the lock sport community, again, you can learn so much from so many people. I've learned raking from Dots and Stu and Newhouse, and I've learned handcuffs from Stu and Not Too Dead. Most of my normal picking was pretty self-taught, but now that I'm getting into higher security locks and different locks and stuff like that, again, you can learn from people. So many good teachers. That is almost entirely capped honey. Now, what we're going to do, since I broke some of those, is we're going to harvest a little bit of this honey. I'll show you guys how I do that. I just get a bowl. No fancy honey spinners or anything like that here. And that's got some capped brood. So what we're going to do is I'm going to scrape this off. Make sure you guys are still in frame here and can still see this. Okay. Just going to hold this up like so and start scraping. I don't worry about making too much of a mess or anything. I actually prefer to give some back to the girls, so they won't let it go to waste. This is substantially easier with somebody else. So, back to the conversation about learning. You can learn so much from everyone if you just pay attention and look and be willing to learn. So, alright, now I put that right back in there for them. Honey dripping everywhere and everything. And you can see where it spilled here. They are just on it instantly. They're on my tool. I let that drain, strain it, and then put it in my jars. These kick back over here. Close her back up, and that'll be about it for tonight. Stu, I appreciate you. Friendship, the welcoming that you have shown me, and I've seen it with so many other people. You truly deserve all these 36, and I hope there's many more in your future. Right down there. Now you can probably see how fired up they are. They don't like you messing with their honey. They don't like you messing with their babies. If they have brood in there that's ready to hatch, they get pretty rowdy like this. I like running an inner cover, so inner cover goes on like so, and then I do this because most of them use the front, the normal entrance, but there are some that like an alternative, so put that on there like so. All right, so hopefully you learned something a little bit getting into the bees. I know we've talked about bees quite a bit. What I'd like to learn from Locksport and life in general and stuff is more patience, and teachers would be, it can be anyone, but in the Locksport community I've learned raking from Newhouse, Stu, Dots Locks, handcuffs from Stu, Not Too Dead, Coxie, so on. Locksport is fun, and Locksport's part of life, but it's not life. To my kids, my grandfather, I've learned a lot from a lot of people, and learned to work hard and be kind and try to just do the right thing. It's not always easy. In fact, when it's easy, it might not be the right thing. Often the right thing is not what's easy. So to go through life trying to do the right thing and stuff, I'd have to say is a lesson. Evolving, learning. Stu, I appreciate you, my friend. I hope this works for you. Love you, buddy. Congratulations. And thank you to everybody that comes home from work, has stuff to do, and still takes the time to watch videos and like and comment and subscribe and stuff like that to my stuff. Thank you guys, and have a good night.